What are some of your top markets? I mean, you mentioned Midwest, but what are some of the specific markets you're looking at?
Indianapolis is our top market just because we live here. We'd also like to see some more deals in Columbus, Cincinnati, Lansing, outside Louisville, Kentucky, or Chattanooga. Some of those are major markets that we're looking at.
You mentioned like research. What does that mean?
Yeah, so we have an in-house research team that really compiling a lot of data, and we have a news report and a weekly podcast that we publish some of that information, help us understand at a really ground level and kind of leading edge what is happening in terms of the multifamily starts and where rent growth is and how different markets are doing.
Are there JVs that are coming into these projects with you all? Who's got the major decision controls? And then options for kind of co-GP relationship.
We have done JVs in the past. We've shied away from those recently because we've been able to raise the equity on our own and not really needed that. We're open to discussing like a co-GP structure, but it'd be easier to talk about that when on the deal specifically. We can discuss different structures once we have a deal that we can put in front of you.
Tell me about your existing investor base. What's the makeup? Is it other family offices, institutions? Who are you guys raising capital from?
We have some quasi-institutional groups, registered investment advisors, wealth managers. We also have about half a dozen family offices that we work with, and then we have a large pool of high net worth retail accredited investors. 60% of the equity comes from the family office and quasi-institutional.
So how many investors do you have on per deal?
The last deal we had about 70 investors, but we're trying to move towards a path where we can have 10 or fewer. So we'd like to partner with groups such as yourself to have fewer calls and have a more tight-knit group that we can go to do our deals.
How do you manage that?
We have a whole investor relations division that handles any kind of questions that investors might have. We have a great systems in place, and we just sent out our Q3 reports, and there was only 3 questions that we had from all those 71 investors.
I mean, just not have investors that ask too many questions, or what?
We're happy to answer your questions. I think that we're just really good at being transparent up front, and I think that answers a lot of the questions before they get to us.